Okay, let's look at solving a linear equation with several occurrences of the variable. Okay, so that's the title. We're in the linear equations section, and the question says solve 9u plus 48 is equal to 3 times u plus 4. Okay, so in order to solve this one, we are first going to have to get rid of the parentheses, because we know that the parentheses kind of lock this up, this u plus 4. So I think of it as freeing them out. So we're freeing them. We're going to multiply, because we know a number in front of a parentheses means to multiply. This is the distributive property. Okay. So I will multiply. So the 9u plus 48 stays the same. 3 times u is 3u, and 3 times positive 4 is positive 12. Now, like I was explaining before, this is like a fence, a wall, whatever you want to think. You've got a left side and a right side. So your job is to get all of the terms with u's on one side and all of the constants on the other. So these are your variable terms. They have to be on the same side of the wall. And these are your constants. They have to be on the same side of the wall, the fence, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so how do I do that? I use inverse operations. Okay, so my inverse operations, those are add, his inverse, subtract. Add, subtract, undo each other. Multiply and divide. They undo each other. So when you're doing your inverse operations, it's sort of like unwrapping a present. And so you're going to do your PEMDAS backwards. So you know at the bottom of your PEMDAS was add and subtract. So that was the last thing you did during PEMDAS. Well, when you're unwrapping a present, that's the first thing you're going to do. And then the second thing you will do is your multiply or divide. So there's no more parentheses, there's no fractions I have to deal with. So now I'm ready to start taking the terms and moving them from side to side. So if I'm going to move a term from side to side, I've got 4 terms right here. The third term is 3u, the second term is positive 48, the last term is positive 12, the first term is 9u, which is positive, there's a plus in front. So I just have to get all the u's on one side and all of the constants on the other. For some of you that are just getting adjusted to this, you may want to put the positives in front of the 9u and the 3u, because what are the inverse operations? So this is like add 9u, add 48, add 3u, add 12. So to undo those, you would have to subtract them, because add and subtract are inverses. So I'm going to choose to move the 3u, so I have to do is inverse, which is subtract 3u. Okay, so whenever I subtract these, that zeroes out. So 9u minus 3u is 6u. I have not touched the 48 and I have not touched the 12, so they stay the same. Okay, so now once again I'm still trying to move terms from side to side, which is my add subtract. Okay, so when I move terms from side to side, I'm adding and subtracting them. This right here, this 6u, this is 6 times u, that's multiply. That's going to be very last to get that u by himself. So this is a plus 48, so I'm going to subtract 48 from both sides. Okay, so these 48s make a 0, and that's going to give you 6u is equal to. Now, you remember, this is money. Okay, money. I'm trying to put those together. So right now, I have $12 in my pocket, but I have to spend 48 on something for school. I'm short. So the question is, how short am I? Well, to find out how short I am, I can take those two numbers and subtract them. So I am $36 in the hole. So that is a negative 36. So now my next step would be to divide by 6 And so I get u is equal to negative 36 divided by 6. A negative divided by a positive is a negative. 36 divided by 6 is 6. So my solution is u equals negative 6.